we are back. This is episode number 7.
Sure.
Number 7. Wow.
That doesn't even seem real. Okay.
Does sound kind of weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm for sure episode 6 was last week.
Cool.
Yeah. So, how's everything been going?
Oh, man. Same old in the regular life, but once again, kind of crazy in the political arena.
Yeah.
Fun. I'm enjoying Trump being back in office. Outside of all the things that he's doing that I agree with, it's so much more entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a wild week already. I mean, we said last week was a little wild, but it just keeps on with the executive orders. But
yeah,
I love the one where he basically took away the option of being able to show your pronouns in the signature for government employees.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
real quick before we get too deep into this, I do want to throw a shout out to our buddy on TikTok, Liam Cossack. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it's our homie. Straight up.
Y'all go follow his page. It's liam.cossack if you want to see him on TikTok.
Yeah, it's a good dude. We used to fight. We fought together in Nam together.
We were in Nam. We were in the tunnels together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dude likes cherry pie for some reason. And we were just, getting shot at, and this dude's eating cherry pie. It was really odd.
The weird part, it was just the filling, though. He didn't even like the crust. He would just eat the filling straight out of the can.
That was weird.
Filling. Yeah.
But he's a good dude.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So, on that note, what's something that stood out to you this week?
In the political arena?
It can be anything, brother.
Well, okay. If we're going to go with anything right off the bat, another plane crash last night.
Mm-hmm.
An air ambulance carrying 6. One of them was a pediatric. They crashed in Philadelphia. There's a lot of ring cam footage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you want to watch anything like that, but what is going on in our skies, man?
Dude, that
have
was
a Black Hawk fly into a passenger airline, and then an air ambulance crash into a neighborhood. I mean,
good grief, dude. I just typed in plane crash last night. I'm trying to find.
Type in plane crash Philadelphia.
Well, I'm trying to find a reputable source, and I just, first one is CNN.
Yeah.
Then we have CBS News, ABC News, Yahoo, CNN again, AP News, NBC News, USA Today, New York Times, Good Morning America, NPR. That's on the first one.
Yeah, NPR's the solid one for sure.
Like what? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that plane crash, but it's frustrating because anytime like something like this happens, because there's so much distrust in the government, no one believes anything, and everyone thinks there's some kind of conspiracy behind everything. I mean,
and you can't just automatically discount it.
No, you can't. But it's frustrating that your mind has to automatically go there. But it's the state of the world that we're in right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Well, did you listen to the air traffic control recordings on both of those flights?
Mm-hmm.
So when they're talking to the helicopter, it's radio silence.
Yeah.
No response. The same thing happened on the air ambulance. There was a little clip where there was a response kind of, but it's very unintelligible. You can't hear it.
Yeah. And I just seen something like that on X this morning, and there was community notes below it. So I don't know what to believe. The community, it was, I guess they assumed that it said something like they don't need to F with us or they F with the wrong people.
So
or
that's
like
what
that.
people were saying. They were debating on whether he was saying you don't know who you're effing with
mm-hmm.
or you don't know who you're talking with.
Yeah. The community note said something that it wasn't the actual plane that crashed that those voices came from. It was from a different plane.
Which would make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know I don't think there's anything there, but
no, I don't. I mean, if there is going to be any sort of conspiracy on it all, of course there is. There's,
mm-hmm.
surrounds everything in today's world. But just the fact that there was radio silence from both of those incidents.
Yeah.
Is it a hack of some sort? So because it wasn't just that. At the same time, was it Belgium? You can check on that. I think it was Belgium, but they were having issues and they had to ground their planes. They shut down their airspace because they were having issues.
Mm.
And so is there some sort of hack that's affecting this?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't even know if that's a theory out there or not, but it's just odd.
Yeah, this is actually talking about the DC plane. This is not talking about the one from last night.
Yeah, if you want to see the one from last night, type in plane crash Philadelphia and it'll pull up.
Yeah, is it the Reagan International Airport
That they took off from?
I thought it was something to do with something Reagan in Philadelphia.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so let's go to Newsweek. I don't know if it's. Yeah, I mean, did you see the video where, it hit the ground and then, I mean, it looked like
just a massive explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there may be a legitimate reason why that happened, and maybe it could be explained away that the fuel and maybe it hit something, but
yeah, and they were just taking off. I'm sure they were loaded with fuel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why it would cause an explosion that big, but the impact of them coming in, well, the way that come in and then it turned a little bit, it just looks surreal.
Yeah.
I mean, what a terrible, I don't know. I just feel so bad for that family. I mean, for all the families that are involved in this, but I mean, you have a child that just went and got care and they're trying to get back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a tragedy for sure.
So what about you? That was mine.
That was yours?
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching I kind of enjoyed these hearings these confirmation hearings need to be changed into something different. I mean, what happened to advice and consent? That's what the Constitution says, that the Senate's going to give advice and consent to the president's cabinet nominations. Did you see any advice?
No.
Or consent. It was just all these different conspiracy theories. Yeah.
So, especially, did you see Bernie trying to come after RFK?
Dude. Man. And yeah.
RFK just made Bernie look like a fool.
Yeah.
Which he is, but.
Yeah. He called out, he mentioned Bernie's name specifically, but at first, if you watch the clip, he basically calls out everybody in that committee. He's like, almost everybody in this room receives funding from the pharmaceutical companies,
Yeah, and then Elizabeth Warren comes out. Are you going to accept any money?
I know.
And he just starts, what, me? You're really asking me that question?
To me,
for
he
real?
was confused.
Like, I mean, and that was just classic. I really don't think they'd want to give me money anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what really stuck out to me was the RFK. I watched a good amount of the RFK Jr. one and the Cash Patel one. Yeah. Dude, he did awesome, man.
Dude, the funniest part is, and it's the only part that anybody's going to remember, is him dropping the hard ER.
What did he? The hard ER?
Yeah.
What is that?
The N-word.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
They asked me if he'd experienced any
the sand
racism. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And he just straight up, they called me this.
Yep.
And the internet blew up on that one.
Yeah.
But that's in fact what he was called. So, I mean, what do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wish at one point, maybe they did say it and I just didn't hear it, but I kept wanting them to say this, like when the senators were questioning Cash or RFK, like, are you going to, if President Trump gives you a quote unquote illegal order, are you going to stand up to him and not execute it and stuff like that? It's like, well, here's the thing. These cabinet members are at the pleasure of the president.
Yeah.
Okay. So regardless, the president could just fire that cabinet member and put in a temporary director and tell him, hey, do this.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like these guys they may have a little autonomy, but I guess depending on the president's style or whatever, if they want to micromanage and how much he trusts that cabinet member. But I mean, they're going to do the will of the president.
And that's what they're there to do.
Yeah. And so I just kept like, what does it matter? I mean, the president won. This is the consequences of
It
elections.
matters to them because they are afraid.
Yeah.
Because of how these last 4 years have been run and how they weaponized
and
this
how
system. how they did it. And
Yeah.
they're afraid it's going to come back on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be too if I was in their shoes.
Yep. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Speaking of, the president being able to just fire them, there may be some firings coming up on Monday. Did you see that where Trump, where they released it saying, hey, I think there was like 16 of them on the lists for the FBI saying y'all resign today.
Oh,
on your
yeah.
own, or on Monday you're fired.
I think they had, I think specifically these FBI agents were anyone that had any work on the January 6th cases, which I don't blame him. I mean, I wouldn't trust those guys.
No.
I mean, the way they did this, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, and that's the difference between Trump's first term and this go around. Trump's first term, he didn't know. He just trusted that they were going to do as they were asked and be on his side, and they weren't. And he's not playing games this time.
No.
He's got to have people that he can trust.
Yeah.
And he's taking care of that right away so he can focus on his goals.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see, I saw a headline saying that some of Musk, his aides for Doge, had locked out some federal employees, locked them out of their computer.
No, I didn't know that.
I can't remember which agency it was, but yeah, he had locked them out of their computer. I think it was the Justice Department. But I mean, this thing he's doing it very strategically, meaning it's almost like, and I hate to use this term, but it's almost like a blitzkrieg. Just go in swift, hit them at every angle. And so they're just so overwhelmed. They can't just focus on one thing that they're angry about. I mean, it's just all around them.
Yeah.
They're confused right now. They don't know how to approach it.
Yeah. The Nazis messed up a lot of words for us.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah. Speaking of, did you see Bryce Mitchell?
Yes.
And Dana White thing?
God, Dana was pissed.
Yeah, as he should. Come on.
Yes.
And he did the right thing. I mean,
he 100% did
the good thing about UFC and Dana White is he lets those guys speak their mind.
Yeah.
There's no, if that was in the NFL, say that was Dak Prescott that said something like that, he would have been suspended probably for the year or who knows what.
He'd have been fined.
Yeah, it would have been bad. But the UFC, he just completely condemned him, with this language, but there's not going to be any consequences as far as like.
And there shouldn't be.
No.
And Dana's right. Hey, we're all about free speech.
Yep.
You can say some stupid stuff.
Yep.
We're still going to defend your right to free speech. And he did say, he's like, hopefully he gets in the ring and gets the shit beat out of him. But
yeah,
that'll happen in the ring.
I know. Yeah. Not outside of the ring or just these. But the thing is, that's the good thing about free speech is that it exposes bad speech.
Yeah.
Let them speak. Let them expose themselves. They're going to say stupid stuff. And if you have the right argument, the right facts behind it, you can put them in their place. Just like what has happened to Bryce. He's being exposed. He's said some quacky stuff too in the past, but
yeah, but he hadn't really gone that far.
Not that far. And this was like his first episode. I think they started a podcast.
Oh, that was his own podcast?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was episode number 1.
Oh, well, you're going to draw in some traffic there, I guess.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, guarantee the FBI is looking at that listener's channel.
Yeah. Yeah. So got that. Are you, I'm not really looking forward to, I know we got the Super Bowl coming up. Don't really give a crap.
Yeah, I could care less.
I mean, other than that,
I don't even know who's going.
It's the Eagles and Chiefs. I can't stand
I really
either
don't
one
care
of them.
then.
Yeah. And so don't really care about the Super Bowl, but anything else going on that's coming up?
Not, man, just in my own life, just getting ready. I've got the garden fever. Just looking forward to getting this going. I don't know.
Yeah. So Jesse Gardens, him and his wife, and
mostly my wife.
Mostly your wife?
Yeah, she's the hard worker on that end for sure.
She's the one that established those poppy fields, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's been growing heroin
Yeah, the freaking CIA came in and firebombed one of them. It's terrible.
Really? Man.
Yeah.
You know what you need? You need to get you some donkeys. I hear the donkeys scare the coyotes away. So maybe the donkeys would scare the FBI agents away or the CIA agents away.
That might work. I was also thinking about consulting with the governor of California to see how we can implement a good program to keep water nearby to fight these fires.
I hear he is definitely a specialist in that area.
Yeah, he's definitely got some experience.
He does. So,
yeah, we talked a little bit about that. Trump jumping on Truth Social and just saying, yep, sent the military in, turned on the water. You're welcome, California. Just that easy.
You know, it's just common sense crap that. It's like, you mean this could have been happening all along? And this right here, he is not only exposing the Democrats, but he's exposing the Republicans of the past.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me that they could have been doing this the whole time and they haven't been?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that this is going to be a new great awakening when it comes to governance and how we, as the people, because we are supposed to be the overseers of our politicians, and we've just kind of voted and let them go and let them do their thing and not really paid attention. You know, vote to save America kind of thing. But I think people are really waking up to this BS and how we have been lied to over and over again from both freaking parties.
Yeah. It really is a one-party system, man.
Yeah.
It's put in front of us as if it's a two-party system.
Right.
But it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Trump is such an upset in this, because he's not.
No.
He's not really either. He's so independent.
Yeah.
That he doesn't fall in line with their stuff and they can't stand it.
I know.
And I love it.
Me too. You know, it's really is a miracle that President Trump won in the first place. If you think back to, 2015 when he went down the escalator, even the liberal media was excited about him, not because they wanted him to become president.
No, because they thought for sure he was going to lose.
He was going to lose. This is going to be the greatest candidate that Hillary can run against because he is not going to win. So he'd go on Morning Joe every morning.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Just all the time, all these positive things. I used to get frustrated because I wanted Cruz, and I'm like, what the freak? Why do they keep, nothing negative about this guy? And here he is.
Yeah.
It's just
proven to be one of the greatest presidents in history.
If he keeps this up, dude,
it's going to be you talk about FDR Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Golly,
I know.
man.
But the thing is, what is coming?
Oh yeah, we can't just sit back and relax now that he's won.
Right.
We've got to stay on this and keep pushing. Fight, because nothing's going to get done if they get another chance to kill him.
No.
And I promise they're still trying.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say this, and what I mean by this, see if this makes sense. So if Trump continues this trend, then arguably, couldn't we say that I can't remember the guy's name, the guy that was killed, the assassinator that did hit Trump
Cooks?
in the ear? Yeah, Cooks. He could go down as one of the greatest Americans to ever live because of what he did.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that he put the dog in Trump. I mean, there was a snap. I don't know if this Trump that we have right now, I don't think he would be the way he is. I think Trump, his mindset, his urgency, his fight, his wanting to completely actually drain the swamp this time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a night and day difference of what Cooks contributed.
Yeah, it lit a fire
unintentionally.
Yeah.
So there's your.
Not praising him in any way.
No.
No. A piece of crap.
But it's God used this from what the devil was planning for evil. He completely turned it around. And so far, it's been incredible.
Yes.
But it's important that we don't, kick back and relax and just let Trump handle everything. we have to continue to hold these idiots accountable.
Yeah, congressmen and senators. Remember, we're still going to have some elections coming up, and we've got to make sure we replace people if they're not in line doing what we want.
Yep.
We got to vote them out.
Yeah.
We didn't succeed very strongly in the House and Senate.
No.
On this election. I mean, we took a majority, but it's not a real majority.
Yeah.
And so we can't lay down.
No. We have to get rid of these sheep or these wolf and sheep clothing.
Yeah.
The so-called Republicans that, I mean, you can say, what's the term for it, for Republicans and name rhinos, right? We've got to get rid of them. Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, the guy he's still iffy on if he's going to vote for RFK. And, I saw this made sense too. There's going to be a revolt if RFK or Tulsi does not get confirmed, because there's a good portion of women that chose to vote for Trump because of the Maha movement.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So be warned. I mean, if you're going to vote against these guys, it's not going to be good for you when it comes to being primaried. I think the American people, at least the conservatives, those who, not even the the people that love their country, that care, that want their country to succeed. That's the difference. Okay. I mean, you either love your country and want it to succeed and do great things, or you don't. I mean, I think that's where we're at right now, because we got to a point where everything we did the last 4 years was to harm the country.
Yeah.
I mean, almost everything. It was ridiculous. Like, I don't understand, other than indoctrination and where they really, truly, genuinely believe that America is an evil place, these progressives.
Well, and that's just piss poor education if you believe that America is a horrible place. And me and you both agree, America's done some horrible things.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of it's been done to their own citizens.
Yeah.
But find another country in the world that's as good as we are. We're not perfect.
No.
But we're definitely better.
Yeah. I think our country is the light of the world when it comes to just civil rights, freedom, liberty. That definitely was going down severely the last 4 years. But, compared to, I mean, if you look just in modern day Western civilization, when it comes to, if you look at England right now, Ireland, I mean, you can get put in jail for posting a meme.
You can get put in jail for sharing something that you didn't even write just because you're pushing so-called propaganda.
Yeah.
It's insane. You can't even have a voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scary. So switch topics real quick. We were talking a little bit on your way here about sleep.
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about sleep apnea and just how you and I both don't get very good sleep. You're much worse than I do. But you listened to the Sean Ryan podcast with, what was his name?
Gary Brecka.
Yeah, Gary Brecka. And you had some good points on sleep.
Well, I really enjoyed that podcast. I'm going to listen to it again.
Yeah.
It'll be my fourth time listening to it.
Because it's so much, there's a lot of
It's a lot to absorb. I need to get a notebook and write stuff down.
Yeah.
But so Sean Ryan has a Patreon account, and he allows his Patreon members to ask questions to any of his guests. And that was one of the questions was, what is the most important thing that you can do to improve your health? And that was one of the first things he said was sleep. Get proper sleep. And that's the most important. There's obviously a lot of other important things, but I'm terrible at sleep.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm going to go through and I'm going to try and listen to some of that stuff and write it down and try to figure out a way to get myself into good sleeping habits. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think your average amount of sleep is per night?
Consecutive hours of sleep, probably 4.
4.
Sleeping consecutively. Total amount of sleep, around averaging 6.
6. Yeah,
But that's
not
my
good.
problem is I wake up and then go back to sleep and then wake up and then go
Yeah.
back to sleep and then wake up. And it's awful. It's a terrible cycle.
Hmm.
You never wake up feeling good.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, if I don't get 8, I got to have 8. If I don't get 8, I'm terrible. 7, I can do 7, but I can tell there's still something a little off
So, yeah,
with my
something missing.
mind, but 8 is perfect.
See, I'll go through those phases. Well, it's a long phase where I'll get 4, 6,
Yeah.
7, whatever. And then finally my body will say that's enough and I'll crash and I'll be out for 9, 10 hours. But it's going to happen in a month and a half cycle type deal.
Just in spurts, huh?
Yeah. So I don't know. If any of y'all have any tips on sleep, let me know because I need to improve that.
Because you need it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're currently, there's been a lot of deportations and
Yeah.
I think Trump posted this picture. It was like a graph of the deportations and people trying to come to the country, and it was just a complete drop.
Oh, yeah. In the first week, it dropped off. I want to say it was 92.8% in a reduction of crossings in a week.
Yeah. And wasn't Biden's excuse, I need Congress to pass this bill in order for me to, help or at least stop these immigrants from coming in across the border?
Yeah, I don't think he was awake enough to even attempt anything like this.
Not at all. He was just told what to say.
Yeah, he was a puppet for sure.
Did you see Mike Johnson's interview? He talked about one story with Biden. Because he's from Louisiana, and they were talking, I guess Biden signed some executive order regarding natural gas, and he was telling him about it, how it's been hurting the Louisiana economy. And Biden told Mike Johnson, he was like, I didn't sign that. What are you talking
my gosh.
I didn't do that. What are you talking? No, I didn't.
No clue.
That. No clue whatsoever. But you know what pisses me off about that? Why didn't Mike Johnson say something whenever
At the time?
Yeah. Freaking coward.
Oh, I'm not a fan of Mike Johnson.
Me neither.
I thought whenever he first got confirmed, I was listening to him because I didn't know who he was.
Yeah. Came out of the blue.
He was a behind the scenes kind of guy.
Yeah.
And at first it's like, okay, yeah, I like this guy. Let's give him a chance. He sounds responsible.
Right.
What a freaking traitor. I mean, and whatever. He's back in. He's confirmed. Let's roll with it. Hope as long as he toes the line and does what he's supposed to do, let's go on. But we've got to have somebody better in there than him.
Yeah.
He's a snake too.
Yeah, he's a snake. I think
he's Vivek's brother or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the only somewhat positive thing about him that I think what Trump sees in him is that he's a beta male and that he can control him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can see that.
I think that's maybe that's a very small good thing about him. He definitely is a beta male.
Yeah. What a good point too. Look at the shift in the type of people that Trump is appointing.
Oh gosh.
I mean, 100% switch over to alphas.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, good. RFK's an alpha.
Oh yeah.
Cash Patel.
Cash Patel's an alpha.
Okay.
Tulsi Gabbard's an alpha female.
Yeah.
Did
you see that? Somebody put it together. I saw it on TikTok. It was funny as all get out. They put together a little stitch or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was Cash Patel during the hearings. And they put J.G. Wentworth's song on there. The tune over. It's on J.G. Wentworth. We need Cash Patel now or something like that. That was hilarious.
Oh, man. No, that's good. I was listening to the most recent, well, no, because I think there was another episode that was posted, but a day ago, Kurt Metzger, it's episode 2265 on Joe Rogan.
Let me see it.
This guy.
Yeah. I've been listening. Dude,
he's all over the place.
That dude is everywhere.
I was
That's
like,
a squirrel.
You could tell.
If I've ever seen one in real life, but he made a lot of good points too. If you could follow him.
If you could follow. He made a lot of good points, so much so on my way to get coffee this morning, he I had to write down this quote because I wanted to say it on the podcast. He said,
wait. That he said, can I take a guess?
Sure.
Does it have anything to do with Haktua?
No.
Golly.
No.
If I hear somebody say Haktua this
I
week,
know,
I'm going
right?
to punch him. He said it so many
Yeah,
times.
he did. No, he said, climate change is like a dog you blame farts on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, because just throw the responsibility off on something else. You know, it's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
No reason at all for it. Just, yeah, that dude, y'all ought to go check out that podcast. That was
a good, well,
like we need to recommend Joe Rogan's podcast at all.
yeah,
But
I know.
that was a good one on there.
That
I
was
liked it.
good. He was definitely all over the place, and they talked about a wide range of issues.
I don't think you could have kept him on one issue.
No, you could tell Rogan was kind of getting frustrated,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I thought that quote was pretty funny.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh man, there's been a lot happen this week.
Did you see some of the money that they stopped from going out? Like they were, you know, because he put a freeze on any money going out until they can make sure that it aligns with his agenda.
Yes.
And like some of the stuff that was coming out, like, what was it? $50 million in condoms for Gaza.
I know.
Come
What the
on.
freak?
37, was it 37 million?
I thought it was
There's
50.
No, for the condoms it was.
Okay.
But they were about to send 37 million or billion, I can't remember what it was, to the WHO. And we're not even supporting them anymore. But we're about to send that money out. Come on.
Dude.
You know how fiscally irresponsible you would have to be as just a human being to have money like that going out against your will?
It's ridiculous.
Come on.
I know.
So some of that stuff is insane though.
Yeah, it is. Did you see this? Where Costco they're still holding on to DEI.
The DEI, really?
Yeah. Some of the big shareholders have come out against them, but I mean, they're still trying to stick to it.
Come on, Costco, get your crap together.
Yeah. I think, wasn't there tariffs supposed to go into place today? For Canada, Mexico, and China? I think 25% for Canada, 25% for Mexico, and 10% for China is what I read last night.
I know that's correct on Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
For some reason glazed over that it was going on China.
Yeah, 10% for China. I don't know
why is that one so low?
I don't know. I don't know if that's the one, but you know, it said China, but I know he did put a tariff on Taiwan on the chips, which that makes sense in the long term, but it's makes me a little nervous, especially with China trying to take Taiwan. But I think the principle behind it is that Trump is just trying to get semiconductors to be made here.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go to war with China, and they can, I think he's just, his position is he's an isolationist, and either you like it or not. And I think he is just focusing on America. And if China wants Taiwan, oh well. That's just my perspective, what I'm reading, just what I'm seeing. I don't have any facts to back that up, but I think that's why he's throwing that tariff on Taiwan. That's my
well, I mean,
my opinion.
We need to bring that over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you look at China looks ahead, and they have generational goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is wise.
Yeah.
And then here in America, we're stuck on 4-year goals.
Yeah. I know.
And that's fine. That's our system because it can change at any moment. And that's good. We're also not stuck under the Communist Party of China.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's great. But they have that ability because of their system to look that far ahead. Trump only has 4 years to get this stuff started and going. So he's got to act now. And it's no different than me and you talked about how nice it would be for us to live off grid, have our own place out in the middle of BFE, and have our own power supply, solar, wind, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you can't really be free unless you can control everything in your life without having to depend on somebody else. That's what Trump's trying to do for America. We've got all the resources we need.
Yeah,
we can lead from a very strong point of power as long as we're not depending on any other country to supply anything.
Right.
All that, if they're going to supply anything, it's going to be bonus to us, not a necessity.
That's true. Hold on, I just want to read this real quick. As promised, Trump's administration has been moving at warp speed.
There we go again.
To implement his agenda, signing more than 200 executive actions just hours after taking the oath of office. Good grief. 200?
Yeah.
That's freaking nuts, man.
He needs to drop that warp speed crap.
Yeah.
Pushing that with that vaccine like that probably the worst decision you've made as President Trump.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
Let's get away from that.
Did you see this?
I saw that picture, but the deal I was reading was kind of, whoever posted it was kind of nonsensical.
You know, so what we're looking at is a picture of Kristi Noem in a ball cap, and then she has it's a police ice. What is that? A Kevlar vest? Yeah. Police vest. And like she's going to be deporting some illegal immigrants. Really?
I mean,
you know, it's theater.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it is.
And I just don't like her.
The only time you got to be worried about that is if you're her dog. So
yeah, true. I mean, she's definitely hot, but
yeah,
that's about the only thing she's got going for her, in my opinion. I mean,
I
like her.
I like her. She's a good governor.
I like some of her policies. I just don't. I think she's too squishy for me, and I don't trust her, and just don't like her. So that's me. But Tom Homan, on the other hand,
good night.
That dude.
I'd like to sit down and have a beer with him.
Oh man, that dude is legit, man. It's like he was born for this.
Yeah, yeah,
man.
He's a freaking pit bull, man.
Yeah, and you know what really that kind of put that in him was, he tells this story about that.
That's terrible.
What was it? A little girl, wasn't it?
A 9-year-old.
9-year-old.
Yep.
And I think she was crushed to death, wasn't she? She being packed in like sardines.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah. It's got to change you.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever. I hate that it happened, but that's the kind of stuff that we can prevent by having secure borders and controlling the flow of who comes over here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about, speaking of that, did you hear about the cartel opening fire on the Border Patrol on the Texas border?
Yes.
And Border Patrol fired back. Can't believe nobody was hit.
I know.
Like, that's just crazy. Mexico did move their military in along that side of the border to help stop some of that, but that happened quick.
Yeah.
And I understand why they're doing it. Hell, we're pissing them off. We're shutting down a lot of their business.
Oh, yeah.
They're about to lose money like crazy.
Yeah, it's about to start getting really interesting when it comes to that. Hegseth was talking about that the other day, that since that executive order that Trump made that designated the cartels as terrorist organization, that now they're able to go in there and get some...
Clean it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And
yeah, if you're in the cartel, you might want to start rethinking your life right now. And
yeah,
you don't want these teams coming in after you. They're not.
No,
they're not betas.
No, you don't want these Green Berets, these Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
Good grief. I'd be scared to death.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them coming after me. That's for sure. So yeah, I've heard mixed things on if these three, we're looking at Kash Patel, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard. I've heard mixed things whether or not they're going to be confirmed or not. I think the one I'm most worried about is Tulsi. It was Kash.
I was about to say, every time we talk about this, it changes.
I know. Yeah. It was Kash, but he did so well, and I'm hearing pretty good thing. Mike Lee was on Fox the other day just talking about how a lot of the senators were impressed the way he handled himself, and feels like he's going to be confirmed. So I feel decent. I'm still worried about him.
See, and I'm more worried about RFK right
Are you?
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's just such an important role. We've got to get our system
for sure
cleaned up.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody can do it like he can.
No. All he cares about is improving the health of the country. Like
that's it.
I don't think he has any hidden agenda. But I did see I can't remember where I heard this from, but they were saying Bernie was actually a maybe. Even after
what?
Yeah, he's actually a maybe for RFK.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but they think some Democrats will actually vote for RFK. Like
they ought to.
What's his name?
Did they forget that he was a Democrat?
I know, right?
Like the only reason he switched over the way he did is because they tried to crush him in his own campaign.
Yeah, they just wouldn't acknowledge him and give him respect. If they would have gave him at least a little respect, I don't know if it would have hurt him at least a little. I don't know if he would have won. He probably would have won, but
I don't think.
But this was those two, RFK Jr. and Tulsi, those two coming on board was a big, because it also brought in a lot of those
independents,
those moderate podcasts like Rogan, and what's his name, the funny guy, Theo Vaughn.
Oh my gosh,
dude loves RFK. So who knows? But yeah, so I am a little worried about Tulsi. I know I keep changing, but things happen, new information's given. That's okay to change, right? It's okay to flip flop with new information, right?
Yeah.
There was one other thing I was going to talk to you about. Trump got some hell for insinuating that the FFA or FAA, not FFA, FAA.
Hey, we need them too.
Right. That a lot of the plane crash had to do with possible DEI issues.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily true, that's the cause of it, but they need to get rid of the DEI. How many, there's a lawsuit now with the FAA because there was like 900 something applicants or whatever that had gone through and tested and done well in order to get hired on with the FAA, and they were rejected and set aside for DEI hires.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah, there's a big lawsuit coming on that, as there should be.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and you had this conversation once upon a time. We thought we were going to become firefighters.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was a big deal when we were doing that, because even if you scored insanely high, you would automatically be passed up by somebody that scored lower than you, possibly, based on if they were black or if they were female.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't score as high as you did. And that was a big deterrent to me, because you could be the top in your class and still miss out on a position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read that. I don't think, as of right now, they still haven't released the name of the pilot of the Black Hawk.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I saw some misinformation going on around that, about that trend.
The tranny. Yeah. But they did say it is a woman. I think we do know it's a woman, and that she was a rookie. She only had 500 hours under her belt during those, during the training. And I don't know anything about how much hours you are needed, but what I read was that normally, in order to have your license, it's something like 1,500 hours is what you need. And there was only 500 for this person. So I don't, that could be misinformation too. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that, and I understand they've got to go through and do these training missions.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be done. The biggest confusion to me on that is still the fact that there was no reply when the tower was talking to him. I don't know. That still blows my mind, especially with it happening again with that air ambulance.
Yeah.
They go through all kinds of checks to make sure their equipment's working. And then to have two of them in 25 hours happen like that.
Right.
Seems a little sketchy.
Yeah. No, it does. So, UAP world?
Yeah, I guess.
We can't end a podcast without talking a little bit about some UAPs, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. Tell me your new
Well,
info.
okay, so I was listening to Jake Barber is one of the newest whistleblowers that came out, right?
Yeah, I was actually listening to a podcast with him.
Which
on my
one?
way here.
Was it the Jesse Michael American Alchemy one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's on my phone.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just came on after another podcast, and I just kept listening.
Oh, okay. The way he describes these, his claim is that he has firsthand witness. So he's not like your Lou Elizondo or David Grush, where he helped run a program but never had firsthand experience with a UAP or with an actual alien. But Jake Barber has, and what he claims, but the way he describes it actually gives more credence to your theory of what you think these UAPs are.
I'm going to have to finish listening then.
Yeah. He kind of talks about there's different vibrations that you can feel from different UAPs. There's an evil part, and then there's a good part.
They did mention a little bit about that, about how you would just start feeling the fear.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to listen to more on that.
Yeah. So if we have any new listeners, you want to just briefly mention what you think UAPs are?
Well,
just so they know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So I think a lot of them are ours.
Yeah.
Government owned stuff that we just don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And then on as far as the orbs and stuff go, where it's obviously not human tech, I think it's more of a spiritual realm.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily aliens from outer space, from different planets or whatever, but more along the lines of demons / angels / in that realm.
Yeah. That's kind of what Tucker also believes.
Is it?
Yeah. Yep. That's what he thinks. So
I like Tucker. He's a little kooky too.
Speaking of Tucker, I told you that I ordered some Alp.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Apparently it's a lot cheaper for one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I haven't priced. By the way, we're nicotine
Yeah, we're nicotine addicts.
Unfortunately.
Unashamed nicotine addicts.
Yeah, but I still wish I never started.
You just think Ramoy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Joel's. Got to throw that name in there at least once during this episode.
I wonder how he's doing after.
I don't know.
We need to talk to him. Hadn't talked to him in a while.
Yeah. I know
we need to get him on the podcast.
Yeah. He did say he wanted to come on. Should have called him. Oh, well. I mean, we could call him right now.
We could. I'd have to end the live.
I could do it.
Yours doesn't connect.
It doesn't connect, does it? Let's see while we're talking.
Let's see if I even have it. I'm on the live.
So what we're trying to do is, Joel is a friend of ours that we used to work with and had a lot of good time back in the day. And we worked at Walgreens back in the day. And so he was actually our assistant manager, and we worked in the photo lab. We were photo specialists. And so we had some fun times at the good old Walgreens. So I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to call Mr. Joel and see how this whole thing. Like I said, we're still new to the podcast. We're still trying to learn how to do things. So this is kind of more of a learning experience for us too, because we kind of experimented a little bit with Jesse's wife, not on the podcast, but playing with the instruments on how to use the phone, have a call in to the show. So bear with us if we have any technical difficulties. So you're able to, looks like the Bluetooth is showing blue.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we'll just ask him what.
I'm not even going to give him a heads up. We're just going to call.
Perfect. All right. We are calling Mr. Joel right now. And there it goes. You're on the radio. Yo, yo, yo. He's not going to answer, is he?
No, probably not.
Oh, man. This was his chance of fame.
Your call has been forwarded.
Bummer. Well, yeah, that would have been funny. Maybe he'll call back. Who knows? So what you doing over there?
Texting Joel.
Oh yeah. What you wearing?
So this morning I got my fit together.
Mm-hmm.
I've got on my New Balance shoes, my khaki pants, my pink thong,
Wow.
and a sports bra.
Man, watch out, ladies.
Well, yeah.
Or dudes.
All of you.
So you, any luck on, you've been having some good luck on TikTok here lately, right?
Sure. I guess you could call it that.
Yeah.
We've been growing some followers, but
So if people want to follow our TikTok or your TikTok page,
well, it's our page. It's, well,
you have one. Do you want to say the one that your own personal one at, or no?
Yeah, that one. You can go to that one and watch too. I don't care. It's Cockeyed Carl.
Okay. So there's that one. But you created one specifically for the Skeptics Table?
Just for the podcast, yeah.
Okay.
And it's just the Skeptics Table 0 is that one. And I'm sorry, the Cockeyed Carl is Cockeyed Carl _1776.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, I don't know what that date is. What is that like?
I don't know.
Is it the day the dry cleaners were created?
I believe so.
Yeah, makes sense. You want to call Tanner? T Money?
Yeah.
So Mr. T Money.
Oh, T-Dog?
He's my nephew. I'm his uncle. But I'm only, I guess, a year and a half older than him.
See if he's trucking.
But this guy,
hey, you're on the Skeptics Table podcast.
You are live.
What? you're on the podcast right now.
We were kind of explaining who you are. T Money is his name, and we were telling our listeners how much you have enjoyed your transition. So how has your transition been going?
Well, I took after my homosexual friends from Amarillo, and
Yeah,
it's been going real well. I've been really, really liking it.
that's good. That's good. So what are you doing right now?
Me and Bentley are trying to change U-joints in one of the semis so he can go back to work this evening. That's about it. Just trying to get some work done.
What is he, like the most boring person on the planet or something? Good grief.
He's what makes America run, man.
I guess so.
Well, we do. We haul scrambled eggs. The egg shortage right now, Central. Just trying to help out.
Well, you don't haul scrambled eggs. They're whole eggs when you pick them up. They're scrambled when you deliver them.
Exactly. That's why it's job security. You know what I mean? It gets there and they're all scrambled up. They're going to want you to break some.
Well,
Hey, talk a little louder.
Huh?
There you go.
You need to get on and start working for the government, man. I hear they're trying to haul some people.
Are you trying to work for ICE?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's government employed, so.
Well, that's true.
Hey,
She hauls mail, but
T Money, what is your what's been your favorite executive order or favorite thing Trump has done so far in the last 2 weeks? You have one?
well, no, because I'm not well enough educated. I haven't watched enough news yet. But I have been very pleased with the effort put forward so far.
Yeah.
Promises made. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about the confirmation hearings. Did you watch any of with Tulsi Gabbard or RFK or Cash Patel?
I actually was watching just a little bit this morning on RFK Jr., but I didn't stay in the house very long. I know I read some headlines where Tulsi Gabbard still was combative or whatever, but man, I'm just a firm believer the harder the Democrats push against the nominee, the better the nominee is. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that his picks are really good so far.
Yeah. Yeah. We can just get them confirmed.
Yeah.
So where are you at?
We're on our way back to the house. We had to run to get a tool to press the new joints out.
Oh, okay. Who you with?
Me and Bentley.
Oh, Mr. Bentley. What does he think about the world?
I just worried about going on a date with his girlfriend later. That's all he cared.
That's
There
my
we
boy.
go. Jesse, you got any advice for Mr. Bentley and his girlfriend?
Yeah, but I don't know if we could say it on air.
Yeah, just say it.
Hey, just leave room for Jesus, okay?
There you go. That's good advice.
Absolutely.
What did he say?
Uh,
Oh,
We'll let you get back at it.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be next weekend. Let me help us. And we'll talk about it. I'm just not educated about what he's been doing. I know
well,
some of it. But I don't know. I know enough just to sound stupid, probably. So,
I mean, that's how you sound all the time, isn't it?
well, it just depends on who you talk to.
All right, brother.
But yeah. All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Oh man. Oh, I remember those days back in the. Let's see. What is he? A sophomore or freshman? Or is he nice? He's in high school. Sophomore or freshman?
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Freshman. Man, no worries hardly in the world. Man, that'd be nice. Ignorance is bliss at times, but it is good to know things as well. You know, it's like a double-edged sword. Knowledge. Oh wow! So you want to tell me what you're showing? That's
It's a bobcat.
2 bobcats. So what happened there? So you've been having some bobcat issues, or is that
My brother's been catching them. They've been having issues out.
yeah? How did he?
Thought there was 1, but apparently there's 4.
4. How did you end up getting them? All right. We're going to call him. Make it another call. Think he'll answer?
You never know.
Yeah.
Your call has been forwarded to voice.
No one likes us, dude.
Man,
Yeah. That's 2 for 3. No, yeah, 2 for 3 that didn't answer.
it's all right.
33% success rate. I mean, I guess it could be good when you're comparing to other things.
I feel like we're going to edit a whole lot out of this podcast.
You think?
All this, sitting there waiting on a phone to ring.
Yeah. Not worried about it. So, what you got going on this week?
Work. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Work. Get that garden going. That's what we started. Yeah, just a big plot of land to clear out.
Start the garden, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to, shortly after this, we'll be going to see the Monster Truck Show. Monster Truck Show. No, I'm good, dude. But yeah, my 3-year-old is obsessed with monster trucks, so we got to, represent the monster truck.
Gotta show them the world, man.
That's right. Yeah. Anything you want to?
Man, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I'm so daggum tired. I'm
Yeah.
drawing blanks on everything.
Yeah. Well, at least you don't shoot blanks in other realms. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm good there.
Yeah. So, well, guys, I think that,
We'll have Joel on the podcast next weekend.
yeah.
And possibly Tanner next weekend.
Mm-hmm. You know who I want to also, maybe we can get him, maybe I can just pick him up and bring him here.
Nala?
Nathan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And just let him talk.
Yeah.
If you guys want, he has some
Just give him an open mic.
fun conspiracy theory. He kind of reminds me of who Joe Rogan had,
Yeah.
he just can spit off a bunch of stuff. And so I think that would be fun. Maybe in the future at some point. Don't know if it'll happen next weekend, but yeah, I think it would be funny.
Yeah. That'd be good.
So, yeah, I think that's basically it, Jesse, unless you have anything else.
Nope. I'm good. Let's call it a day.
All right. Well,
Love y'all.
bye, everybody.
Thank y'all for listening to this week's episode. Please subscribe to our channel if you enjoy this type of content and leave a comment if you have any topic you would like for us to cover. Have a great day.
Mind's always drifting somewhere out there. Questions lost, floating in the air. Thoughts like whispers calling me near. Visions blurry but crystal clear. Wandering mind, never quite still. Chasing shadows, climbing the hill. Restless spirit.